When it comes to wrestling matches, we all know that these things are sort of predetermined, or I guess they've got their elements of coordination. Well, we've got a video today that is a compilation of when wrestling matches go horribly wrong. That's right, YouTube birds. We're checking out some debauchery. Keyword on botch. That was terrible. That was bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you want to check out the original upload of the content, click the top link in the description. Show them some love. They've got a bunch of other content. If you want to hang out with us live on Twitch, me and the beautiful flock, you know where to click that link. We've also got a bonus Patreon that is free with over 200 hours of bonus wrestling content that I cannot upload to YouTube. Down there. Click the link in the description. I'm not going to hold you up all day. Let's get right into the video.
He's so athletic, and look how smooth it is. Oh, nice kick right there, and he sits Candido down.
What you just saw ended this wrestler's life.
Holy.
On August 24th, 2005, Chris Candido was competing in a steel cage tag team match. Less than a minute after the bell rang, Candido's right foot got caught on the mat, shattering both bones in his lower leg. Chris Candido was unable to stand up and had to be taken out of the match. He underwent immediate surgery, which, while successful, put a huge strain on his body. 4 days after the injury, Candido started to feel ill, and body filled his lungs. By the time he arrived at the hospital, it was too late, and Chris Candido had died at the age of 33.
That was a lot darker than I thought the video was going to start with. Jeez, dude. I never even heard of that. I wasn't always like in touch with TNA stuff. I'm still not, but like, yo. That's what kind of spooks me out about like surgeries, man. Huh. Okay.
While this next wrestler didn't die, this incident left him completely paralyzed. Hayabusa was a Japanese wrestler widely considered one of the best of all time. He was one of the pioneers of the high-flying, fast-paced style of wrestling.
We did see this one on stream.
But sadly, this is what would alter his life. In 2001, Hayabusa was competing in what was supposed to be a standard match.
After
show wrestling for about 13 minutes, Hayabusa went for a springboard moonsault. However, he lost his footing and his head slammed.
Oh my. Fuck, dude. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. But it's funny because before this, like, one of my favorite moves to see was like the lion salt. But now I wince every time. Like, even if I know it's like an older match where someone's done like the lion salt perfectly, I still think about this botch here, just like, I don't. Oof. If there are two moves that'll make me wince all the time, it's a pile driver and it's this botch right here. Like, oof. God damn.
The referee, Hayabusa's opponent, and even the fans could tell he didn't land correctly, but didn't realize the severity. Hayabusa's opponent tried to continue the match, but Hayabusa wasn't moving. About a minute after the incident, the match was called off, and Hayabusa was taken out of the arena. The injury cracked 2 of Hayabusa's vertebrae in his neck and left him paralyzed, and he was forced to retire. Sadly, Hayabusa would die about 15 years later due to a cerebral hemorrhage. However, about a year before his death, Hayabusa regained strength in his legs and was able to spend the final months of his life standing and walking on his own. While medical staff tended to Hayabusa relatively quickly, this next wrestler wasn't, and it was detrimental to his life.
I do think it was beautiful that Hayabusa was able to stand and walk to their ring that one final time. But dude, that is so fucking sad. Yeah, like, I knew nothing about that until you guys brought it up. Bunch of people, it had to be like early last year. You guys brought it up. Man. What a guy.
In the 1980s, WWE matches were almost never stopped. Part of this is due to the wrestling culture at the time, and simply WWE and most wrestling companies having very few safety protocols in place. During a non-televised WWE show in 1986, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Dynamite Kid and Davey Smith, were defending their titles against Don Morocco and Bob Orton. During the match, Dynamite Kid jumped over his opponent and got kicked in the back by the other. While it might appear that the kick is what hurt him, it was actually the jump. As Dynamite Kid said in his book, "As I jumped, literally mid-stride, I felt something go in my back." Dynamite was barely able to move, and neither the referee nor Dynamite's opponents knew that he was seriously hurt. The match continued with Dynamite Kid laying on the side of the ring. Finally, once the match was finished, medical staff came out and Dynamite Kid was taken to the hospital. The injury was the beginning of the end of Dynamite's career, and one can only imagine how things could have been different
Holy
had he gotten
shit.
medical attention right away. While that was devastating, this next match has the most gruesome injury in wrestling history.
We talk about it a lot once we watch like botches and stuff here on stream. But like we see them do all these crazy like super complex maneuvers and moves and shit. Like day in and day out, and then it'll always be some like really insignificant small thing that's like the most devastating, right? Like you'll have fucking Psycho Sid jump off like the second rope and snap his leg. Or in that case, bro just jumped over somebody and something dislocated in his spine. Like what? Bodies are fucking weird, man. I don't know. I'm spooked. See, this is why I got rid of mine. I'm a ghost. I don't have to worry about such things. You guys be careful. When's the last time you heard of a ghost jumping? You didn't. You never heard of that.
Psycho Sid, or Sid Vicious, was a monster, and he was usually the biggest man.
I swear I did not make that happen. I did not pre-watch this video. I did not. That timing was crazy.
And anytime he was in the ring. Because of this, Sid mainly used big power moves, and he probably should have just stuck to that moveset. However, during WCW's Sin pay-per-view in 2001, backstage personnel pressured Sid Vicious into performing an aerial move from the middle rope. Sid wasn't comfortable doing it, but agreed to anyway, and it was a big mistake. When he hit the move, Sid landed awkwardly, and the impact caused his leg.
Oh, shit. Man, I hate watching that thing. I always give Jericho props for how he handled that injury with Neville too. And I was getting frustrated with the fucking referee not like catching on that he was hurt quick enough, but I always give Jericho his props. Like that is a in-ring general right there. For real, for real.
Leg to snap in two. Sid immediately underwent surgery and was later
God
told he would never
damn,
be able
Sid.
to run again. In the aftermath, Sid had to use a cane just to walk. While it was a long and challenging road, Sid was determined to regain his strength, and he did. In
Oh
fact,
my
in
goodness.
2012, he returned to WWE and wrestled one final match for the company. This next incident shows how even if you're not a wrestler,
Wow.
just being in the ring puts you at risk of injury. In late 1989, World Championship Wrestling
Holy.
featured a match between Tommy Rich and Mike Rotunda. The referee was Tommy Young, and what should have been a mundane match turned into a disaster. Towards the end of the fight, Rich grabbed Tommy Young and threw him aside. However, Young tripped over Rich's foot, causing his head to smack into the ropes. This was part of the script, and it seemed like everything had gone to plan. However, Young continued to lie motionless, and it slowly became apparent
Ray,
that
how are
something
you?
was wrong.
So I'm laying there facing the audience, and I remember hearing this like humming, and I didn't feel any. There was no pain because from here down, I didn't feel anything. It was
Funnily enough, I hear the ropes are like really tight. Like they're a lot tougher than they look based on how they like spring off them and shit. I wouldn't be surprised if that shit really did take Pro out. I'm gonna rewind it back a little bit. I didn't mean to cut him off while he was talking, but like that's something I always think about too. Like the ropes, they look so springy and cool to bounce off of. Those shits are probably, yeah, like that. You don't want to go falling haphazardly into those things.
there was no pain because from here down, I didn't feel anything. It was like I was looking at my body, but I wasn't in it.
Backstage personnel eventually realized that Tommy wasn't acting, and the wounded referee was carried out of the ring. Yun ended up in surgery that required the doctor to remove his vertebrae. This led to some devastating news.
I mean, he told me, he said, you've got to understand, if you get hit there, you could be quadriplegic. You don't have any protection. And that's when I knew right then and
Holy
there,
shit.
brother, it's over. Your career is over.
I'm retiring.
Unfortunately, this
The
next
second
clip
you tell me that,
doesn't
I'm
have
fucking
happy ending
retiring.
Either. Daffney never made it to WWE, but she made a name for herself in WWE.
Daphne. Dude, no. Yeah, we had like a whole arc on stream where we watched like a bunch of this, and then they had the Dark Side of the Ring episode. Ugh. Daphne.
WCW and later TNA. Her look and personality made her stand out, but two incidents would alter her life. At the Bound for Glory pay-per-view in 2009, Daffney was involved in the Monsters Ball match between Abyss and Mick Foley. Daffney's big moment of the match saw her chokeslammed off the ring and through a barbed wire table.
Daffney! Oh my God! No! No!
Daffney's head collided with
God
the floor and gave
damn.
her a very serious concussion. Making matters worse is that Daffney did not want to do the spot, but was asked to by Mick Foley. Daffney continued to wrestle after this, but would suffer other severe injuries. Ultimately, she had to quit, but the scars carried from wrestling didn't leave. She felt the effects of her concussion every day, such as bright lights giving her headaches. However, no one would truly know how much pain she was in until it was too late. In September 2021, Daffney went live on her Instagram account where she would say, "I don't want to talk anymore. I want to go to sleep and never wake up." Fans, family, and fellow wrestlers tried to reach her, but they were too late. Daffney was found dead with a gunshot wound to the chest. Before she ended her life, Daffney requested that her brain be donated to CTE testing. I can't imagine how Owen Hart felt during this match. In 1997, Stone
I would have so much, like, guilt. I would feel so much guilt. Like, not to, like, shame anyone if like that, right? But, like, if I had anything to do with that Monsters Ball match, I would feel so fucking terrible. Because, like I said, it's not ballet. You go out there and you run the risk of getting hurt anytime you do, like, a wrestling performance or anything. But, like, to know that she was uncomfortable with the spot, and then, like, you know, like, I can only imagine how bad Mick Foley feels about it. And then it, like, even after that, the injuries afterward too, it's like, oh fuck, dude. Some people just can't catch a break, honestly. Yeah, rest in peace to Daffney. That sucked.
Cold Steve Austin was WWE's fastest rising star. Because of this, it was planned for Austin to challenge and defeat the Intercontinental Champion, Owen Hart, at that year's SummerSlam pay-per-view. What should have been a defining moment for Steve Austin ended with him getting paralyzed. While planning the match backstage, Stone Cold
This is why I'm
suggested
terrified
that
of fucking
Owen Hart
pile
give him
drivers,
a
man.
pile driver, which Austin would then kick out of, leading to a big fan
Solely.
reaction. Austin, though, wanted Owen to use the Tombstone pile driver since it was safer. Owen Hart, though, didn't want to use the Undertaker's move and said he was more comfortable using the traditional but more dangerous pile driver. Stone Cold had just feuded with Owen's brother, Bret Hart,
My
who was
goodness.
famous for never injuring any of the wrestlers he worked with. This gave Stone Cold enough confidence to allow Owen Hart to give him a pile driver. Once they were out in the ring, the match was going perfectly. The two had been wrestling for about 15 minutes when it was finally time for the pile driver.
And I saw his neck.
Oh shit, man. Ah. You could tell this is about to be fucked up good. He got fucking spiked, man. Dude, there is no give in that. He got fucking spiked. Holy. Nah, I want no parts in that one. That's one of those moves. You gotta keep that shit out of here, man. No. Do not do that ever again. No. Hell no. I remember seeing fucking CM Punk do the pile driver on Cena. What was it, like 2013? I forget. And I was like, huh? You can't do that. Not to that guy of all people. What are you doing? Yeah, fuck that move. It's so cool looking, but it's like, it's up there with like the danger zone.
And I saw his neck, you know, there was a little bit of a cushion and impact
God
on
damn.
my thighs. His neck is so vulnerable, it kinked, and he just went numb. I knew right there, I said, there's something wrong. He said, I can't feel my fingers.
Austin had just enough strength to perform a roll-up and end the match. While Stone Cold was able to return to the ring, This injury did shorten his
Jeez.
career. This next wrestler, though, sadly lost his life while competing in a match. In 2015, Rey Mysterio was wrestling in a tag team match in Mexico.
Oh,
In the climax of
wow.
the match,
I remember
Mysterio
this.
had both of his opponents dangling over the middle rope. Rey hit his finisher, the 619, but Perro Aguayo Jr. didn't react. Mysterio broke character to check on Perro, and backstage personnel soon came out. Rey and the other two wrestlers finished the match.
I would
but
feel
all
so
attention
fucking
was on
bad,
Aguayo.
man.
The 35-year-old wrestler was rushed to the hospital, where he was sadly pronounced dead. The cause of death was cardiac arrest,
35,
which is
dude, he
brought
was
up
young.
when he got hit by Rey Mysterio's dropkick. The whiplash after hitting the rope snapped Perro Aguayo Jr.'s neck and led to his death. Rey Mysterio was understandably devastated
Holy
by this,
shit.
but Perro's family told him not to feel guilty, and it was in God's hands. Mysterio attended Perro Aguayo Jr.'s funeral. However, he did not wear his mask. out of
Holy
respect.
shit,
What happened
man.
to Aguayo and everyone else in this video was a pure accident, but this next wrestler deliberately tried to kill his opponents. In November 1996, New Jack was wrestling for ECW. He and his tag team partner, Mustafa, were set to take on Devon Dudley and Axel Rotten. However, Rotten couldn't make the show, so Dudley needed a new partner. At that same event, a young wrestler named Eric Koulis, who wrestled as Mass Transit, said he could fill in.
Oh.
When asked if he
Mass
was trained,
Transit-
Eric
Mass
lied
Transit incident.
and said he was.
Oh.
Additionally,
Bro definitely lied about his age too, right? Like that's a big thing. Like, why the fuck are you here, sir? This is no place for you. I think we seen an interview or something where New Jack was like, bro was trying to tell New Jack what he wanted to do with the match, and he was like, sir, boy, if you don't get bullfight. Yeah, nah. I can admire New Jack from afar. I'm not gonna ever ever try to weasel my way into a match with bro. No, that's not me. No. Nah, I'm cool on that. No.
despite telling everyone he was 21, he was actually only 17, a minor. Due to his inexperience and young age, Eric got on New Jack's nerves backstage. The 17-year-old also made the mistake of asking New Jack to cut him open during the match. Finally, it was time for the match to begin. Before the bell rang though, New Jack told Devon Dudley to stay on the outside of the ring, and for a very good reason. The match looked more like an assault than a wrestling contest. Mustafa, and especially New Jack, showed Eric, aka
Jeez.
Mass Transit, no mercy. The darkest moment was when New Jack cut Eric open with a surgical scalp. While Eric had agreed to this, New Jack cut too deeply and severed two
Oh,
arteries.
man. At
this point, Eric Koulis' father began screaming, saying he was only 17. Medics rushed into the ring, and Mass Transit had to be placed on a stretcher.
Two arteries,
Transit
dude.
did recover, and his family later sued New Jack. Ultimately, Eric Koulis lying about his age, experience, and asking to be cut open allowed New Jack to be acquitted. New Jack himself doubled down on what he did and showed no remorse. Then, years later, New Jack would attempt to kill another wrestler. To see what happened, and if New Jack was successful, watch the video on screen.
He was successful in killing the other guy. I think the other guy like walked away with like a broken ankle or something. Don't do that. Don't clickbait us, you bastard. I'm kidding. This is a great video. I'm actually surprised he showed all the incidents. I know a lot of these compilations will like avoid showing what they're talking about. Seeing the Hayabusa thing again, ugh. I thought I would never have to see that footage again, dude. I thought I would never have to see that footage again. Ooh. The Psycho Sid leg thing, fucking crazy. Chris Candido, I didn't even know that's how he passed away. That's insane. That complications can arise like that. Like, for something as simple as like a broken leg. The Daffney incident is fucking tragic. Absolutely tragic. We did cover a lot of that over on the Patreon, because I can't show the Vice shows here on YouTube, you know, so stuff like that is there. I mean the Austin pile driver thing, we've seen that a billion times, and it sucks that is a thing that happened. I always feel bad for the wrestlers once they've like accidentally caused some type of injury on someone, because it's like, you go out there with your opponent and they're trusting you with their body, right? Like, this is a performance. Even if like you have to put some personal grievances with each other aside, like it might be beef between two wrestlers or something. You go out there and you do good business. Like it always has to feel bad or like a stain on your your career of like, oh, you were in a match with someone so they trusted you with their body and you broke their fucking neck. Right? It's like, oof. I actually never seen what happened to Dynamite Kid before this video. And I do remember the Rey Mysterio one around the time that it happened. And I was like, I didn't even know Rey Mysterio was still wrestling at the time because I was like not watching wrestling. He was like out in Mexico, I guess, in the promotion, but that guy was like 35 years old. He was so young. And that's like a sequence Rey has done for years, right? Like this is just like an embedded. So like for it to go wrong like that sucks, dude. Like I say all the time, huge respect to every person who fucking goes out there and they put their lives on the line, they put their bodies on the line to give us a show, and then sometimes, man, it's just oof. Pretty dark video there. You probably expected more jokes. I can't really joke on the subject matter, motherfucker. Show the original uploaded some love by clicking that link in the top of the description. Want to hang out with me in the flock live on Twitch? Click that Twitch link. You can do that. Patreon's got over 200 hours of bonus content. It's free. You don't got to pay for nothing. And boob window, because we made it all the way to the end. I'll see you in the very next video. Cool. Don't be weird. Thank you so much to those of you that have made it over to the Patreon. I appreciate you.